Hi everyone! I hope you're all ready to experiment with some water and to explore what happens to certain things when they touch water. To start us off, let's go back to our storybook that we read this week. I know you guys read it with Miss Irina. It's called Rabbits and Raindrops by Jim Arnosky. Just in case you don't remember some parts, I have pictures from the book for you. So in this picture, we can see the mother rabbit and the baby rabbits in the rain. I think this is when the rain first started to come down. The words here say, a rabbit's fur is not waterproof. Baby rabbits can become soaked and catch cold. Because the baby rabbits have fur that is not waterproof, meaning that it'll absorb or take in the water and not be protected from the water, the mother rabbit wanted the babies to get to a safe place, a dry place, where the water from the rain can't touch them. She wants her babies to stay protected or safe from the rain. She knows that their fur is going to soak up or take in all of that water and become wet. And she doesn't want her baby rabbits to become soaked or completely wet and get sick. Now let's take a look at this page. The words on this page say, soon others come inside out of the rain. Now if you put on those looking goggles and look closely at this picture, in the back I see that there's a field mouse that came into this hedge to get out of the rain. It seems like this mouse was not as lucky as the rabbits. It seems like he didn't get into a dry place fast enough and he's gotten a little wet. You see that his fur is a little matted down or tangled. You can also see that it's kind of pressed down too. The shape of his fur changed. It doesn't seem as smooth and soft because it's so wet. I also noticed that the field mouse is kind of using his hands to brush the water off of his face. Do you see those tiny drips of water that are coming off of his fur and the puddle of water that's underneath him? Because this field mouse wasn't able to get out of the rain as fast as the rabbits, he got so soaked or completely wet. That's why his fur is so much wetter than the rabbits who were lucky enough to get out of the rain quickly. Don't worry too much. Even though the field mouse did get wet, soon the air will dry all of that fur. So it might be a little uncomfortable for the mouse right now, but soon, especially when the sun comes out, he will get all dry again. Does that remind you of anything, boys and girls? Maybe it reminds you of when you take a shower or a bath, maybe even when you swim in a pool and your hair gets wet. Usually when our hair or even our bodies get wet, we use towels to dry them off. Usually maybe your friend or your parents or a sibling probably helps you dry your hair. Now the towel soaks in or absorbs or takes in all that water from your hair and it stays in the towel. You might notice that your hair does still feel a little damp after you rub it with a towel, still feels a little wet, but usually it takes out almost all the water, and because so much of the water is gone, you can dry your hair in the air so much quicker. Some of you might even use a hair dryer to dry your hair, and that blows air on your hair, so your hair can dry even quicker than it would if it was just kind of sitting in the air. Now, mother rabbits don't have towels or hair dryers to make sure that their baby rabbit's fur dries quickly. They have to always wait until the air naturally dries all that fur. So that's why the mother rabbit in our book kind of goes and makes sure really quickly that her baby rabbits get to hide away from the rain because she doesn't want her baby rabbit's fur to get soaked or completely wet and take a long time to dry. Because if the baby rabbits get cold and they're also wet, they might get very sick. And we all know mother rabbits don't want their baby rabbits to get sick. Now I have a couple of things to help us find out what kinds of things absorb or take in water and what kinds of things repel or push away water. To help us, I have a washcloth, which is like a tiny towel. It's a lot smaller than a normal towel, as you can see, but it pretty much feels and looks exactly the same. People usually use it to dry their faces off, and it helps because it's smaller. I also have a bucket, and we'll figure out what we're using this for in a second. And I have some water in a bottle. It sprays out the water when I push that down. So first we're going to see if this washcloth absorbs or repels water. So before we do that, let's take a closer look at it. Now it feels very, very soft. It kind of reminds me of what rabbit's fur must feel like. It seems like it's a clothy material, it's very bendable, and it doesn't even really make a sound when I touch it. It's very, very soft. So now I'm going to spray my water on it and see what happens. This bucket is for catching water in, so nothing around us gets wet. So let's go ahead. So when I first sprayed water on it, none of the water even dripped out. But now I see a little bit of it starting to drip out. So let's see what happens if I wring out or twist out what I think is in here, because it feels very wet. Did you see all that water? Let's try a little bit more. Let's try twisting it. Again, twist it with me. Wow, that was a lot of water that came out of this towel or this washcloth. That means that when we sprayed water on it, this washcloth was taking in or absorbing all of that water. That kind of makes sense because the rabbit's fur we talked about would absorb water, and this kind of felt like that rabbit's fur. I have something else with me here today as well. It's this plastic lid. Now, if we take a closer look at this one, we can see it's very hard. It makes a loud sound when I tap it. It's also kind of scratchy and it's very, very smooth. It kind of reminds me of my raincoat and my rain boots. Maybe that has something to do with if it can absorb or repel water. Let's find out. I have my spray bottle again, and I'm going to spray some water over this bucket. Do you see that? It seems like the water just slips off. It does not absorb into it. And if you look closer, you can even see the water on it. Can you see all those water droplets on the lid? I feel like I can just wipe off all the water too. It's pretty clear that this plastic lid, doesn't absorb water. It pushes or repels water away. Now I have a couple other items, but this time you're going to help me guess if they will absorb or repel water. So the first thing I have is this sponge. Let's take a closer look. It feels soft and squishy, kind of clothy like that washcloth. It doesn't make any loud sounds. Based off of what we can see, what do you think will happen when water touches the sponge? Do you think the sponge will absorb the water or repel or push away that water? What do you think? Let's find out. Spraying that water again. I see some water coming out. Let's do the same thing we did with the towel and squeeze. I felt like some water came out. We can try again. Wow, that was so much water that just came out of this sponge. It seems like the sponge was absorbing all the water. That kind of makes sense, huh? Because we kind of talked about how similar it was to the washcloth, and that absorbed the water too. Now the next item I have is this pink plastic bag. Now let's take a closer look at this. It makes sounds, it's kind of smooth and scratchy. What do you think will happen when water touches this? Do you think it will absorb the water or repel the water? Well, let's find out. I'm going to spray the water again. Can you see what's happening? It seems like the water is just dripping off of this plastic bag. See the sound that it makes when I spray it? It's a very loud sound. The sponge didn't make any sounds when I sprayed it. Look, you can kind of see the water that's dripping down. Something I notice about this is that it's really, really shiny. And our plastic thing before, this thing, was pretty shiny too. It seems like shiny things like to repel water. Smooth and shiny things repel water. See how the light bounces off? So it seems pretty clear that that plastic bag repels water too. So now that we're done exploring the different objects, let's talk a little bit about the animals that we talked about earlier in the week. I know that Miss Carino talked to you about animal coats and coverings and about different kinds of fur or different kinds of coverings that are on different kinds of animals. So the washcloth, which absorbed water, reminds me of the fur that would be on a rabbit or a dog or a cat, while something like this plastic bag or the lid kind of reminds me of the scales of a snake. Now, when dogs or cats or rabbits get wet, their fur soaks in and absorbs all that water, and so their hair or their fur. So when a dog or a cat or even a rabbit gets wet, their fur soaks in all that water, just like we saw with the washcloth and with the sponge, and they have to wait until they get dry. Meanwhile, snakes, like we talked about with scales, have a very smooth, shiny covering. And because it's so smooth and shiny, it's waterproof, meaning that even if water touches it, it won't get wet. And that's why snakes, even if they do touch water, they won't really get wet. The water will just kind of fall off of their scales, just like we saw the water drip off of this bag. Thank you so much for helping me experiment or test out all these different materials to see if they will absorb or repel water. If you want to try this at home, you can look around your house and try to find things that you think might repel or absorb water and test them out for yourself. It was so exciting to do all of this with you today, and I can't wait to see you all next time.